Hello and welcome back to the Stronghold. I'm the Magi, and today we are going to be talking about Pick2 drafting. And for those that haven't already heard, Finseth told us last week that Arena will be fully embracing the Pick2 design, that traditional draft, Pick2 draft, and quick draft through the Omenpaths will all be having us make 2 picks per pack. And more recently, Corey Bowen, senior game designer for Magic the Gathering, did a wonderful little fluff piece article talking about the hows and whys that Pick2 drafting was made to pair with Marvel's Spiderman. But today I'm going to be focused on what a lot of you have been very patiently waiting for, the economics of Pick2 drafting. And we're going to see today if this is something that we as value drafters can make use of or not. But before we get into all that, it's a fact, Spider-Man won't be coming to Arena. Instead, we are going to be getting the substitute, if you would, through the Omenpaths, mechanically identical, but thematically significantly different. And even though Arena won't be feeling those superhero vibes, we here at the Stronghold definitely will. You see, I jumped at the opportunity to have a super suit commissioned, and, well, Edna managed to talk me out of the cape. Not to mention, I've been working hard on my 3-point landings. So we definitely will be feeling the vibe around here. And you have the opportunity to feel like a hero too. Just make sure you've subscribed here on YouTube if you haven't done so already, and take just a moment to like the video and leave a comment. Any comment. It's your superpower. Now, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, right. Allow me to start by saying that the reason that many of you have been waiting on this, and thank you for those that have been reaching out and inquiring about it, is because the Arena team had not given us the details yet, and of course you can't really do an economic analysis until you know the economic details. But recently they did clue us in. The entry price is 900 gems or 7,500 gold, and the structure is a 4 wins or 2 losses, whichever one comes first. So we're going to start by zooming in on that price structure. And if you've been around the Stronghold for a while, you should already know what I'm going to say first about buying this with gems. First and foremost, gems should be used to buy the Mastery Pass. So you shouldn't even be considering buying a draft or anything like that using gems until you have earned enough free-to-play gems that you are buying the Mastery Pass each and every season that you choose to. There might be some occasional sets that you aren't interested in the Mastery Pass, but the Mastery Pass should be your first priority. But just as a note here, if you are using gems, the comparable comparison to this in just buying packs would then be 4.5 pack. Now, then of course that leaves the 7,500 gold. And that, of course, converts to 7.5 packs for a 1-to-1 comparison. And I think that brings us to a good opportunity to discuss the floor and ceiling of a draft situation with the regards to one's ability to rare draft or pull higher value cards out of the packs. You see, in any given draft situation, you personally are going to open 3 packs, and we're going to pretend that every pack always has 1 higher rarity card, be it a rare or a mythic, and ignore the somewhat corner case situation where about 5% of packs may have multiple rares in them because, well, most are only going to have 1. In the neighborhood of upwards of 95% of packs are in fact going to have 1 higher rarity card. And since you personally opened 3 of those packs, you can definitely take those 3 higher rarity cards for yourself and your collection. I would refer to that as a floor for a draft. You know that this can consistently happen. There's never going to be a pack that you open that doesn't contain a rare. If that does happen, stop immediately and contact customer service, because that's not supposed to happen. On the other hand, when we look at the ceiling of a draft environment, typically since there are 8 people in a draft pod, whether those are 7 other actual human being drafters or 7 versions of some sort of AI system like with a quick draft, you know that there's going to be a total of 3 times 8 packs open for a total of 24 higher rarity cards. That would be an example of the ceiling. There's no way to draft more than 24 higher rarity cards. Again, we're ignoring the possibility of a pack having more than 1 rare, although it can happen. But typically, that would be your upper end. You're not going to be able to draft more than 24. And of course, any number between that 3 floor and that 24 ceiling is a possibility with varying degrees of how often they will happen. I personally very often will be able to draft double digits, 10, 11, 12 rares or mythics in a typical 8-person pod. However, for today's discussion of Pick2 drafting specifically, we are talking about a 4-person pod. So that means there will now be a total of 12 upper rarity cards being opened at the table, so to speak. So, of course, that is a significantly lower ceiling than what we had in an 8-man pod, specifically half. And that also means that the ability to draft in those double digits is going to be much more difficult and much less likely. So now that we have a better idea of what we can expect from a Pick 4 draft, let's talk about what we want to accomplish when we say making value in such a draft. As we discussed, the 7,500 gold would dictate a 7.5 pack if we were to just go into the store and purchase them with regards to the expected rare and mythics. And when we factor in golden pack incentives for standard legal packs, that means we need to do 7.5 packs times 1.6 rares per pack for a needed outcome of 12 rares or mythics to at least be as good as if we had just gone to the store and bought packs. Now, in the prize support for Pick2 drafting, you always get at least 1 pack, which would mean we'd need to draft 11. And as we just discussed, there's only 12 total packs available in a Pick2 draft pod. So without getting into the psychology, the quantities of rare drafters versus quote-unquote competitive drafters, how likely do you think it is that you can draft 11 of the 12 higher rarity cards available in your pod? I'm just going to go ahead and say probably not very likely. So we know that it's going to be very difficult to make value by drafting alone. So we've established that making value for your collection is going to be at the very least difficult, i.e. maybe statistically impossible. So that would mean we need to make our value on the gems and packs from winning. So let's take a look at just how probable that is. I've added in the percent win rate associated with each one of these finishes, starting with 0 wins, of course, is a 0% win rate. 1 win, 2 losses gives you 33, all the way up to 4 wins and 1 loss. That means you would need to score between 80 to 100% win rate to get 4 wins. That being 4-1 or 4-0, that would give you 1,400 gems and 3 packs. Now, let's keep in mind that pro-level players still tend to lose approximately 1/3 of their games. So even a pro going into this is going to have a hard time hitting that 3 or 4 win matrix for a 60% or higher win rate. So even pro players are probably only walking away with 1 pack and significantly less gems than what they would have paid for in order to enter this. In fact, at 900 gem entry, one really wouldn't go infinite until they hit that 3-win, 2-loss scenario in which they earn 1,000 gems. And I mean, let's think about that. The time and effort that you put in to go up 100 gems and 2 packs, I'm not sure that's really worth it, but to each their own. The moral of the story here is winning is very difficult because once you hit your second loss, the event's over. 2 losses, you get 1 free loss, and then you go home. So it's a very steep curve here to hit your win ratios and your expected outcomes. So even for very good players that maybe you're ready for the Pro Tour, this is still a very significantly difficult task. So there it is, guys. Those are the facts as I see them about Pick2 Draft and how I feel about them, and most importantly, why I feel the way that I do. Furthermore, I can tell you right now, I don't plan to buy a single entry into a Pick2 Draft. And from a value perspective, I suggest that you don't either. Now, if this particular draft experience appeals to you from an entertainment standpoint, by all means, do with your resources what you want to do. Just don't go into it expecting that you're going to get the same value out of it that you do from other draft environments. And now that you've heard from me, I want to hear from you. Get down in the comments, let me know how you decided to interact with this, and if you did some Pick2 Draft, how you found the experience to go for you, not just from a value perspective, but also was it entertaining and perhaps most importantly, fun. Before we go, I want to give a shout out to some of the superheroes in my life. That's right, my supporting patrons. And if you would like to be a superhero around the Stronghold, stop by and check it out. You never know what you're missing. And of course, we have some other suggestions on how you can flex your superpowers.